Fantasy Underdogs, we're taking 3 Rams wide receivers in the top 5 rounds. How do we rank them? Find out.
Welcome to the Fantasy Underdogs podcast with your hosts, Dr. Ike and BJ.
All right, Fantasy Underdogs, we're talking about the Rams. 3 fantasy relevant wide receivers. Oh my goodness, that does not happen. But this year, we have it. As a discussion right now, we have 3 wide receivers that are being taken in the ADP 40 range. 3 on the same offense. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable, honestly. I mean, 3 receivers on the same team going in the top 5 rounds.
Yeah.
But the real question is, how would you rank them?
Me, how I have them ranked right now is Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp. Simply because of, I think Brandon Cooks has proven the most throughout his career that he is a fantasy relevant wide receiver. He has the best injury record. And I like Cooper Kupp's upside a lot, but that ACL tear, just for this year specifically, I think that brings him down just that bit, just to the point that I rank Brandon Cooks higher.
Okay. Well, my ranking is a little different. I go Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, where we agree on he's the second best, and then Brandon Cooks for me. I love Cooper Kupp in this offense. He had such a great rapport with Jared Goff. I mean, in 8 games last year, he had 6 touchdowns. He led the team in receptions, led the team in receiving yards, and was the focal point on every big play. And he scores in the red zone. He gets red zone targets, and he's just. I mean,
it's good. Yeah, he had 40 receptions, 6 touchdowns. That's the highest touchdown rate per reception of the 3 wide receivers that we're talking about here.
Yeah, and that's why I think he's the most valuable, because I think Goff trusts him the most out of all the receivers on his team. And I know the report maybe. Actually, it's long. I think it's longer than Brandon Cooks, to be honest.
It is. So Brandon Cooks was only there last year, but he was still very good in that short sample size.
Brandon Cooks was very good after Cooper Kupp got injured. So that's why I'm kind of putting him a little down more. I think Brandon Cooks has the lowest floor out of all 3 receivers.
I disagree.
The reason why I say that is because he's more of a big play guy. He's going to be the guy that gets, that averages like 17 yards per catch and has a lot of air yards. So he's going to be going deep a lot. He's going to be crossing the field.
He does the underneath stuff.
But not when Cooper Kupp is healthy. That's my point.
That's
when
if he's healthy.
But he is healthy. He's coming off the ACL injury, and he's healthy.
But is he going to have that same burst that he had, though? That's my big question right now. He's got that. Like we saw Julian Edelman when he first came back from the ACL wasn't the same guy. It took him some time to build that back up. Is he going to have the same burst that he did before the ACL injury?
Honestly, modern medicine with ACL injuries has been significantly
it's way better.
It's so much better now.
But is he going to be full prime Cooper Kupp that we saw at the beginning of last year?
I don't know the exact news if he's ready for training camp or not, but
they said he's looking good right now.
Okay, so if he's looking good for training camp, then yeah, I think he's going to be fine. Why wouldn't you think so? He has he has like 4 months to get up into football speed. I think it's possible, and he's probably been doing it the whole offseason.
But I think the thing that you got to look at here is the fact that Brandon Cooks, I think it was 5 or 6 times that he caught a ball inside the 5-yard line and was tackled. If you even just give him 2 or 3 more, that makes him. He had 1,200 yards, 5 touchdowns. You give him 3 more touchdowns, he's the number 1 wide receiver right there. 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. That's a great guy. He's a guy that has shown it with 3 different quarterbacks. No one else can say that. Robert Woods, I mean, yeah, he wasn't in as good of an offense with the Buffalo Bills, but he wasn't good until he was in that McVay offense. Robert Woods also has shown he's been a quality receiver 2 years in a row, whereas Cooper Kupp has not shown that. Yes, he was a rookie his first year. He showed he was solid, but he wasn't a great fantasy option. That's my argument right there.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly disagree. I think Robert Woods is definitely the safest out of the 3. I think the consistency factor, he averaged 7 targets per game. So he's going to get the volume that he always gets. He's the safety guy. But the guy that Jared Goff excelled with in the lineup was Cooper Kupp. When Cooper Kupp went down, Jared Goff's numbers went down, as did the rest of the receivers.
Okay, so we're going to end this argument right now with the fact that the most important stat in June before fantasy drafts is obviously ADP. So let's see here. Cooper Kupp, 48. Robert Woods, 45. And then you have Mr. Brandon Cooks at 43. So I think right there, it shows Brandon Cooks, best wide receiver. Sorry, Ridge. All your stats out the window.
Yeah.
I win, you lose. And with that, Fantasy Underdogs. BJ wins. Dr. I Know Everything loses. Like, subscribe, comment, fantasyunderdogs.com.
Dislike him, though.
Fantasy Underdogs, I'm snorting coffee grounds. 3 wide receivers.